My boy.
In a long time,
Yeah,
man. I feel like I ain't
been a
seen
minute.
you in ages. I'm not gonna lie.
Right. It's been a little minute.
Yeah, we both been busy.
Yeah.
No, new job for me, man. Just went on that Texas trip. Yeah, I know you was having some trials of your own.
Oh man, bruh.
I mean, hey, you can talk about it if you want. Otherwise, we don't got to.
We can. I'm just like.
I mean, it's up to you, man.
Man.
I know you don't like to put all your business out there.
We'll just say this: being a homeowner is trash, bro.
At times, I've heard.
Like, man, come on, dog. I had to sit up in this motherfucker for like 2 weeks with no air conditioning. I was heated. But they shout out to my dad's homie Micah. He came through.
Nice.
They got me right. So oh yeah.
It's good.
I might have to go ahead and buck up on these niggas at this home warranty shit though.
Hey, I can't blame you, bro.
Go ahead and holler at that attorney state general. Get this shit popping.
Hey, I feel it. I mean, meanwhile, man, job's been cool. New gig. Definitely one of the best jobs I've ever had.
Yeah, it's like that.
Oh, bro, this is like one of the best work environments I've ever been in. Like, I will forever stand on that too.
How you end up getting plugged with that? I remember you telling me about it like before.
Yeah, through a homie's dad. Yeah, definitely vouched for me. And yeah, crazy enough, I just saw him last night because, we were just talking about the job and all that. He's like, oh, trust me, I know how you're doing. I got people watching you. I'm like, he's like, they all say you're doing a great job, man. So yeah, I'm happy to hear it. But yeah, man, it's been good.
That's what's up.
And then that trip to Texas was great, man. Went for F1 Texas. I will say this, that was one of the best sports events I've ever attended.
Yeah, I need to go to one.
Yeah, like it was great. Yeah,
I definitely need to go.
Yeah, like as soon as we were done, we were already like, so we going to Canada next season or what's up?
I haven't been to an F1, but I've been to a lot of other shit though. Like I've been to like not Formula One, D1, like drift. Been to a lot of those. I've been to a few time attack events. Those are always good. Yeah. Those are fun. Of course, everyone's been to like drag races, done that. But the D1 events were fun. But the time attack shit was where it was at though. Like that shit was badass. Like I really enjoyed the time attack stuff.
Nah, I feel it. So. No, man, other than that though, just been chilling, especially since getting back from that trip recently, like fairly recently. So really just gonna get on the grind because got another trip coming up here shortly. And yeah, but I know you got SEMA coming up.
Yeah, man.
I'm super bummed I'm not gonna make it this year.
I am ready for it, bro. I need a vacation.
Yeah.
Like this month has been fucking ridiculous. I'm just like, I need to get the hell out of here.
I can imagine. Yeah, man. So let's talk about that a little bit, man. Any initial thoughts about it?
About SEMA?
Yeah.
I will say this. I know that you were talking about how after your third one in a row, you were just kind of like, all right, man, like I think I'm good on this shit. So I'm like, this is my third one now. So I'm just kind of like, we'll see how this goes. But I'm kind of hoping that there is gonna be some different shit.
Yeah.
Cause like the first 2 years, it was like the same stuff. So I'm like, maybe it'll be some different stuff this time.
Yeah. So just to kind of explain that point a little bit, how I told you, like after my third year, I was kind of like, so like for the listeners that probably don't know what we're talking about, SEMA is essentially a automotive convention where, basically a lot of new cars are getting unveiled at times. A lot of, parts for cars are getting unveiled. And this is essentially like North America's biggest car convention, essentially business car convention. So you're probably wondering, how do we get to go? Your boy knows some tricks.
I mean, it's basically
yeah,
it's basically like a fucking playground for car guys.
yeah, but yes, you do have to have a business to go. The general public is not allowed except for Friday.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind for those that have always wondered what does it take to attend. So the reason being why I told you that, why after my third time going in a row, I was just kind of like, over it a little bit. It's more so just like I've already talked to who I needed to talk to. Like I still have certain connections. It's kind of just like, okay, bro, like I'm kind of just going now just to say what's up to like homies I've made in the industry.
Right.
And like just kind of look around. So in a sense, it's boring for me. Now, your case, because you're kind of just going as a spectator, I definitely think that's how you'll keep it fun still. But at the same time, I could see how it gets a little boring because you feel like you're seeing the same exact thing over and over.
I mean, I'd be in there like, talking to folks like
I know you do.
Oh, yeah.
Though.
Shout to the homie over at Gritty. Definitely I caught up with him not too long ago,
cool,
actually.
Cool.
So I mean,
nice.
We gonna see about some stuff coming up for the S12.
Oh, okay. Nice. So I like to hear, man.
Yeah, man.
Hey, it's perfect too because we haven't talked about. We need to get more into some car stuff.
100%
coming year.
100%.
Yeah, which
you ready for?
I'm working on it.
Yeah, we waiting on you, bro.
I know.
I would just say we go. I'll say.
Problem is though, bro, with this job, like, I might need to actually start looking into a house, man. I don't got enough room. Yeah. Especially with me getting that van now.
Oh, you get to bring that to the house?
Yeah. I remember I was telling you about that. Yeah.
Okay.
So, that was the only reason why at the time I was thinking about that RX-7 because I could technically daily drive it because I wasn't going to be driving my own car every day.
Yeah, facts.
Mm-hmm. But overall, though, let me ask you this. If there's one thing you do definitely want to see, whether it's car or part-wise at this year's SEMA, what is it? Or anybody you want to talk to specifically?
Car-wise, I don't know. Is there really anything new coming out that isn't already out? It's like for next year.
That's a good question, actually. That's why I said parts-wise, too.
I'm curious to see if they're going to have the new Civic. The 2025 Civic. That shit looks really dope. Like the one that I saw online, I was just like, damn, is that what that looks like? I was like, man, that shit looks badass.
Yeah, I know Nakai is actually going to be there this year, too. They're going to do the whole drive from, I think, Cali to Vegas this year. Yeah.
The one that they had online, the Civic, it was a hybrid, though. But the body, like, I'm pretty sure the body is going to look the same. That's, it was dope. They're bringing if they're going to bring that out, they're bringing the coupe back. But it was like a 2-door coupe. It's kind of like wide body, sort of. Yeah. Like it was wider than what the one looks like now.
Oh, okay.
It looked pretty good. I was like, damn, if that's what the new Civic is going to look like, I might have to entertain that.
Yeah.
I was like, that's actually kind of nice.
Yeah.
The only thing that like I said, man, I'm just over Hondas with these engines, man. These new engines that are in turbo engines, those things are trash. Like, I'm not a fan.
Why's that?
I mean, if you've ever driven one and you own like real Hondas, it doesn't drive or feel like a Honda. It feels like a Subaru. It low revs, a lot of torque, handles really sharp. I mean, they drive very well. They're great cars, but it just doesn't feel like a Honda. You get in a Type R, you're thinking like, hell yeah, I'm about to rev this bitch to the moon. Motherfucker has a red line at like 7,000. Actually, it's more like 6,800. It probably stops making power at 65.
Fair enough.
It's just like, what the fuck? Like, no. It's got VTEC on one cam, not both. Why? Like, that's trash. It's terrible. Now, if they had like the K series that I have in mind in that car with turbo, that's a whole different ballgame. I mean, that thing on 14 PSI will make 500 wheel with no problem.
Yeah, okay.
Like, the one in the Type R is running damn near 30 pounds of boost, and it still isn't making anywhere near 500. Hell, anything over 400 wheel horsepower, it'll blow the fuck up probably.
That's fair.
It's just kind of like,
I feel you, bro. I mean,
it's
like
a lot of money for something that ain't built to do that.
Nah, I feel you. I mean, I think we talked a little bit, about why I didn't really pull the trigger on RX-7. I mean, for one, I hadn't started at the gig yet. But two, what kind of got me thinking was just like, okay, like, yes, it has everything I want. The RE Mamiya kit already has the V mount, the Gretty V mount at that.
Right.
Pretty much was practically how I would have built it, or one of the specs I would have built it. All I would have had to focus on was power. I think the overall thing was just kind of a little hesitant in terms of jumping into a rotary. You kind of have to be prepared financially straight out the gate if something goes wrong.
Oh,
and that's what I've always been told.
You do. Well, because if anything goes wrong, you need a new engine.
Exactly. Well, not always. Not always.
If anything goes wrong, you need a new engine.
Not always. But here's the thing, though.
When in doubt, fix everything.
But yeah, that's fair. But
especially
also,
with that car,
they did do a good job on kind of giving me all the details of the car. Like they,
that thing probably already
checked the PSI on the engine.
I was like, that thing probably already had a fresh rebuild.
Oh yeah,
most of them do.
Yeah, and it was from a reputable shop in Florida. So
like the majority of them damn things get rebuilt. As soon as they get over here, they get a refresh before they sell them.
Yeah, so I think it was just more so hesitation on my end, but also just I kept thinking to myself, like, yes, I do want an RX-7. Like, I'm probably always going to want an FD. But then I just started thinking to myself, like, yes, we have the whole Divergent Beam project. We've been talking about, we're going to get into cars here next year. I need to get something that is, in a sense, going to kind of just help with the brand as well as, be the type of car that, I could see myself in for a long time. And that's what made me jump right back to the 997 Porsche. On top of that, Porsche market is always so interesting because, like, it fluctuates so much versus RX-7s. They're holding steadily.
Yeah, Porsches are like one extreme or the next.
Exactly.
It's just like 1 minute you'll see a 997 turbo, which is what I've been looking at.
Yeah.
And you'll see a 997 turbo going for like 80 grand right now.
And then
it's just
skyrocket.
No, it'll go. That's high. Because like 3 years ago, you could get a 911 turbo 997 for like 60.
Yeah.
And it's like now you can't even touch one for less than 80.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could get a 996 turbo back in the day, like around that same time. You could get like the fully loaded one with the what is with that package? Was it like the W something?
Oh, the YSEC?
No, not the YSEC. It's or is it a YSEC? It's like a number. It's like a W and a number.
Oh, I vaguely know.
It only comes on the turbo cars.
But yeah, you could get one of those for how much?
Like again? 40.
Yeah.
And it's just like, fuck, like you can't not no more.
Exactly. 996 turbos, like your base level turbos, are still like kind of in that mid 40 range.
But
it
one
just
with that package on it, or
exactly
Chronos package or something.
Oh yeah,
you're looking at like 55.
exactly. 60. Yeah, so really, it's just more so. I just told myself, you know what? For one, wait till mid next year, then start looking again just to see what everything's going at. It probably won't be a turbo, unfortunately, unless them prices drop.
Nah, I can't do it.
Well,
bro.
here's the thing.
I'm buying a Porsche. That shit gonna have spoolie boys on it.
Well,
Pause. Pause.
Nah, here's my thing though. Like, because let's be real, we all know why I'm trying to get a 997, trying to do an RWB. Part of me doesn't want to cut into a turbo, but at the same time,
I mean, why would you cut into any Porsche?
Yeah, because I like RWB.
Exactly. So it's
but
like,
at the
what
same
does it matter
at the same time,
turbo
though,
or not?
I have been looking into Carrera 2S and 4S's because if you tune them, they can pretty much get to the point to where you're like GT3 is like your base level GT3s are. Not the RS, not the RS.
Relax.
GT3s. Because again, GT3s are not turboed.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a few of them that make similar.
So
power.
I'm thinking about going that route. So we'll see what happens.
I mean, I guess it depends on, well, not the 997. That's more like the 991s, 992s.
Yeah.
Like those, yeah, but I don't know about a 997.
Yeah, but bottom line, next year, and I gave myself a specific date, I will have a Porsche. Speaking it into existence.
Oh, shit. Yeah, okay. Or you'll change your mind.
Hey, look.
You change your mind like every couple months.
I'll work.
Like,
you want to put a wager on it?
What, that you gonna change your mind?
That I won't.
Yeah, you'll go back to the RX-7, and then you'll go back to the Porsche, and you'll go back to the RX-7.
I won't put a wager on it.
You gonna fluctuate.
All right, what you want? What you want if I change my mind?
Oh, that's tough.
You know what? If I change my mind, I'll give you my casino dunks.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right.
If I don't change my mind, I want your blue lobsters.
You bugged. You bugged.
All right, how about this? I want the Sean Weathers.
I knew it. It's, I want the Sean.
I'll just wait. I can't fit those either.
I was gonna say you couldn't fit the lobsters either.
Man,
they both size 11.
Man, what size your Travis Scott's?
Which ones?
The lows, Idio.
I think 11.
Dang.
I think one of them might be.
All right.
10.5.
Shoot my choice. That is a 10 or a 10.5. That is the same value as my casinos. Deal?
I don't know, man. I don't know what I don't know.
Over here, hey, look, you over here sweating with, like the dude trying to press the button. Like, dang.
Nah, I don't know. But I know you go back and forth. So I'm like, whatever because I know you went through that phase for a minute where you wanted that Corolla GR, and it was just like,
well, I told you, what stopped that one was just like the issues that for some odd reason the 2024s were having. Like those two caught on fire.
Right.
I didn't like the fact that Toyota was essentially trying to say it was because of driver error, saying that, oh, well, our records show that at one moment you went over 85 miles per hour. And I'm like, so A, you have a tracker in my car that I didn't even know about. B, you offer a free track day when you buy the car. So of course I'm going to go over that.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
That's dumb.
Now, of course, I do feel for the 20, because I was telling the homie Daniel about this, because he was asking me, what should he get? Because he was thinking it's time to upgrade. from his TC, obviously.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But I told him, you can't go wrong with the 86. I mean, they're proven. That GR Corolla, I like it, but I told him wait till 2025 because I think they're going to do a quiet fix. I know they know what's wrong. Yeah, so they're going to do a quiet fix.
When is the first year of them?
It should already be happening now.
No, I'm saying like the first
GR
was it 23, right?
23, yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, I know 24 ain't the first year, so I'm just like, what the fuck's going on here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but
I actually like the GR86.
I do too.
The GR86s look really good.
Yeah.
Like I like the way they did that.
Yeah.
The motor though, I'm like they could have done something else.
They're talking about for the next batch, they're going to throw that 3-cylinder turbo in. So
I've been seeing that.
We shall see. I hope they do.
You seen the new rendering for the new Supra is coming out? Yeah, man. Because at first everybody was saying that they was gonna scrap the Supra.
They are.
No.
Oh, they decided not to?
No,
I heard 2026 was going to be the final year.
No.
Oh, they changed their mind.
Yeah, they're going to build another one. But this one is not going to have any BMW shit.
That's what I figured. Okay.
Yeah, this one is going to be strictly Toyota.
I've heard, too, that they are talking about it's time to start working at a 3J.
I don't know. They haven't said what kind of engine is going to be in it, but I can only assume
also,
it's
too,
gonna
keep
be
in
a
mind,
6-cylinder.
Toyota just partnered with Haas Racing in F1.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's going to help develop it a little bit more.
Mm.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. But I mean, I think it's a good move to keep the Supra. It's just you can't mess up like they messed up the first time.
What do you mean?
Their biggest mess up, not offering a stick shift straight out the gate.
I thought that too. But in today's society, nobody drives manuals anymore.
I understand.
So it's like even when they offered the manual, people still bought the automatic more.
Well, it was because they just didn't want to wait.
And it's because, maybe the weight and because a lot of niggas don't know how to drive. So when you see all of these guys, because they make power really easily. Mm-hmm. They mod the cars and make them fast, and then they go out and race. It's like that automatic is easy.
Oh, yeah.
It's like when you doing that with a manual car, I mean,
oh, yeah.
You don't know what the fuck you doing. Yep. You're going to put that bitch into a pole.
Yep.
I mean, you could do that with the automatic as well, but the automatics are a lot easier to drive.
So let me ask you this. Because obviously you've been around for a while. Why do you think driving a manual has become, like, almost in a sense, taboo?
Well, for one, this generation wasn't taught how to drive one. And then two, it started to become like a lazy thing because everybody wants to go fast in a straight line. So it's like automatic is always easier to do that.
Plus, what was the dumbest reason I ever heard why it seems pointless to drive manual? I had a nigga really try to say on TikTok one time, oh, you can't be on your phone driving a manual. I'm like, you're not supposed to be on your phone, period, bro.
I beg to differ.
I agree.
But I'm like, I be fucking riding around in my car with, my cars have Bluetooth. So
exactly.
I be riding around, Bluetooth, talking on the phone, drinking a soda, hitting my vape, eating.
Surprised you don't have a Subaru.
I'm like, bro. No.
But I'm over here like, oh, you're not even supposed to be on your phone. Like, if you are, you still can do it driving a stick shift.
I'm just like, bro, I can do like 3 different things at one time and still drive.
It's
fine. Like, I think it's all just once you've been doing it for so long,
Oh yeah,
it's like second nature to you.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you just do it.
I mean, I literally told somebody, yeah, I know how to drive a stick shift with 1 foot actually. And they're like, what? Why? And I'm like, because just in case if my knee ever pops out because I have a condition, I had to at least be able to be like drive somewhere in case I need to go to the hospital or something.
Right.
Yeah, so it's like never hurts to be able to do it. But hey, look, honestly, I think everybody should know how to drive one. I just think it's a little weird when it's like you have people that are willing to teach you and you won't at least learn or attempt it.
Well, I mean, people don't want to fuck the car up.
I mean, hey,
You know,
I feel it, but at the same time,
what's the worst that could happen? You can burn a clutch up. I
Exactly.
mean, that's easily replaceable.
exactly.
I mean, that's another thing too with a lot of the performance-minded people. Why they go to automatics is because of the cost of upgrading a clutch and a manual car now has gotten out of control.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
And it's like most of these cars nowadays, especially the clutch that comes in them from the factory, is pretty much already at its limit. So it's like as soon as you start modifying it, that's one of the first things you got to do is upgrade the clutch. You got to pay. I mean, take the GTO for example.
Oh yeah.
I got a monster stage 3 twin disc, right? That's like a $2,000 clutch. Now, in most V8 cars, that's normal for you to do that. Like, to upgrade to something like that, because it's like, this car is already making, out the box, mine's making 400 and 400. So it's like, as soon as I start playing with shit, now what?
Yeah.
Right now, it's making, it made 589 at the wheels.
Yeah.
So I'm like, a normal clutch, that's done. So it's just like, why not just go ahead and get this 1,000 horsepower clutch that I'm only going to have to do one time, and then I'm good.
Yeah. No,
so, $2,000 clutch though.
That was like the only problem I had with when I had the 300Z, because I forgot. I still always forget. We didn't know each other back then when I had that car. So I didn't bleed the clutch. So like literally I'd have to forcibly pull it back up because it would get stuck.
Oh Lord.
Oh man, I was just talking with one of the homies about that car.
I sprung for all of the extras with my shit.
Oh yeah,
I got the speed bleeders and all of that shit.
You know what's crazy too? I was talking with one of the homies earlier today about that car, and I told him that car is one of my overall biggest regrets because they're a pain to work on. Like even like, because keep in mind, I didn't do any of the work myself, but just finding parts for it was a pain as well.
I mean, that's what stopped me, from getting one recently.
Yeah.
I looked into getting one, and
you dodged the
I
bullet,
was just
my
like,
friend.
nah, I don't
but
wanna do
also, I regret selling it at the same time. Like, it's like one of those bittersweet things. I mean, like I always say, that was the whole intent why I bought it, because I was trying to get into that business. So it was a good learning experience, learning how to do the whole process and all that. And, I'm glad I know now. So that way, I can at least help people out if they ever do it. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, I just should not have sold that car. I should have kept it for a little bit longer. We'd probably be a lot further along with this whole project too if I would have kept it.
I mean, honestly, like I wanted one in high school. I remember I wanted when I was like a young kid, back in like the early 90s.
I mean, what would you say was the Mama I Made It JDM car?
My dad's friend had a red Z32. And I thought that was like the coolest shit ever.
Yeah.
Until my granddad got his Mark IV Supra.
Hey,
but,
see?
This was like 90, 91. I'm like seeing this fucking Z32 brand new. It was like the hottest shit out at the time.
Yeah.
It was just like, dude. I was just like, I thought it was like the coolest looking car that I had ever seen at that point. And I was like, man.
Oh,
So it's like
100%.
5. I was thinking I was probably what, like 5, and I was just like shit. And I wanted one in high school, as I had always liked them, and I'm just like, yeah, I want one.
Yeah.
So I found this fucking clean cherry red on black turbo 5-speed, and I'm like 7,500. I'm like, yeah, I'm trying this right here. My mom saw how much the insurance was.
Oh, she's like, oh no,
For a 16-year-old.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she was like, ha ha, yeah, fuck that. Like, nah.
Like, you crazy? Like, you got a job, nigga?
Like shit. The twin turbo, T-tops, manual, 2-seater. 16-year-old?
Oh,
Yo,
yeah.
no. Oh, no.
Yeah, no go. But
Looking back at it now, I'm just kind of like, yeah, I can understand why she was laughing.
Yeah.
I'm just like, that shit would be expensive
I
for
mean,
me now.
bottom line though, like I said, I'm gonna get me a Porsche next year. No, the wager's still on the table, buddy. You know, like I said, you know, I can already see that box looking at me behind you. I'm like, yeah.
Oh, wow. This nigga.
But honestly though, because I just remembered, I gotta talk with you about some. So, story time. Next story time.
Oh.
Yeah, we might have to turn this into a new segment because, look, man, I don't know what it is. I've been pondering on this because this situation happened Friday night. Let me just say this. I don't know if I am just the comfortable black dude that everybody likes to tell their business to, or if like, hey, I don't know if God has like just made me the forever single dude that for some odd reason gives some of the best relationship advice. So let me explain. Like I said, Max story time. You know, I'll walk into the gym.
Snow Bunny got you.
No. I don't deal with them. Dr. Umar might be watching.
No. We back on that now?
Nah, I'm just Dr. Umar might be watching. Farrakhan might be watching.
Oh, God.
Yeah. No, you got ops out here. But, no, I'm just playing. So, you know, I'm like talking with everybody, you know, the typical, hey, what's going on? You know, dap up all the homies. It's one gentleman. Like, hey, what's good, bro? How you doing? Bruh, I'm in a bit of a debacle right now. Like, dang, here we go. What's good, man? So, did I tell you about that girl I've been messing around with? I'm like, no, I don't think so. If you did, I probably wasn't really paying very much attention. I didn't really want to know.
You hear that start off, it's like, oh, shit.
I'm like, he's like, all right, so you know, man, I'm with Gigi. Dang, I'm gonna have to cut that out. Actually, he might not hear this. Yeah, I'm with so-and-so, and I'm been fooling around with so-and-so. So, like, so-and-so is telling me that I need to break it off with the main girl after this Philippines trip. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. Oh, okay, yeah, I'll do it. Problem is, we got back from the trip. I don't do it no more.
Oh, wow. So don't do it.
So,
I mean,
it turned into this whole thing. I'm like, so, like, why do you keep fooling around with this, with these side pieces when,
right.
And clearly to me, you truly love your main chick? He's like, I don't know what it is, man. It's just like, I love my girl, but like, I'm just always looking at everything else. And I'm like, well, for one, you're a dude. I told him.
Brings me back.
See, I knew you would say this too. Look, so let me finish the story real quick. So I told him, for one, I'm not going to judge you, bro, because at the end of the day, we're men. You shop for shoes barefoot. I don't. We're men. We're always going to look. But here's my problem. It's when you start touching, that's the problem.
Mm.
So he's like, he asked me, well, what do you think I should do? I'm like, thinking to myself, you're really asking me, and you're like 20 plus years older than me, dog. Like,
so
are we for
I'm
real?
I'm like, nigga, if you gotta ask the question, then you already know the answer.
Exactly. I'm like, for what? I'm like, buddy, look, I can only tell you.
You gotta ask, you already.
Exactly. I'm like, that. You got to do some inner soul searching, buddy, because I can't help you there. I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, for one, nigga, I've never even been in a relationship for real. So I don't even know why I'm talking to you about this. I'm like, hey, look, listeners, I might have to go to school to be a therapist, dog, because everybody all of a sudden thinks I am one. I'm just going to say that.
I feel you on that one because I get that a lot. Like, everybody always comes to me with the drama, and I'm just kind of like,
but bro,
I mean, it is interesting to hear.
Exactly. Like, it was very interesting, but I'm just over here like, why are you talking to me about it?
Oh, because I mean, you don't have. There's like no judgment.
That's fair.
You know, it's just like if they're talking to someone else that's in a relationship, the judgment is gonna be there, and they're just gonna, you know, they know with you not being in a relationship that is like you can't judge. So it's like you don't. So
here's the funny thing. He's like, he tells me, yeah, bro, you know, I'm just after my divorce with my ex-wife, like I just said, you know, screw all the chivalry stuff. I'm gonna just go do what I want. So he tells me, I know I'm a POS. I'm like for starters, bro, I can respect you at least understand how you look to other people. So I'm not even gonna knock you there. At least you a realist. I can respect that.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I think he kind of understood, like, it's not fair for me to do this. And then main girl has to, in a sense, suffer the consequences. So I got to figure out what I'm going to do. But I told him, I ended it off with this. I'm like, from how I'm hearing you talk right now, it sounds like you already have made your decision. And you know what told me this? Because as soon as main girl walked into the gym a few minutes after we had this conversation, this nigga's eyes lit up when he saw her.
Yeah. I mean,
so I'm like, hey, that shows me he made his decision.
Facts. And I mean, I say that brings me back because...
What's up?
When I was in the military...
I knew you was going to have a story.
My boy Pat. Shout out my boy Pat, man. Me and him used to kick it all the time. And this nigga was, you know, had his shit popping on the side.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, bro, like, why are you cheating on your girl, dog? Well, his wife, they were married. And I'm like, why are you cheating on your girl, man? Like, that's like, his wife was awesome. Like, she was funny as hell. Like, she was cool. She, like the perfect wife. I mean, she was, like, supportive of him. You know, she was cool to be around. Like, she was funny. She looked good. I'm just like, bro, you got the whole package over here.
Yeah.
Like, why are you out here in the streets?
Yeah.
Because he would come to the car meets. Like, we would go to the meets and shit. This nigga show up to the meet with, like, a random. And I'm just like, who the fuck is this?
Oh, my
like, bro, I mean,
God.
it was like every week he would show up with a different one. And I'm just like, dog, like, what is going on, man? Like, is everything cool at the crib? Like, what are you doing? He's like, man, look, I know she's awesome, man. I know she's the best and I love her, but I don't know, man. I just want to fuck other bitches. And I'm just like, I don't understand this logic.
Exactly.
I'm
this
just
is
like,
the same
bro,
thing I was told.
Why get married if that's the way you feel?
Exactly.
Stay single.
And I mean,
and you can fuck as many bitches as you want.
Here's my thing, bro, because
It's like, don't get married and then do that.
I literally
why?
do not judge anybody. I really don't, despite what some people say. But
I mean, in the time we were like young as fuck.
Yeah,
like we were like 21.
Here's my only problem.
And it's like,
bro,
dog,
if you still want to mess around, don't even be married, bro, because that's not fair to your wife or your husband. If it's flip flop, that's not fair. Like, that's just my opinion.
I told him, I was just like, why even get married?
Exactly.
Bro? Like, if you was gonna be doing this shit, like, you should have just stayed single.
Exactly.
It's just like, then you could fuck as many bitches as you want and have no repercussions unless
And
you
also,
get burnt.
let me just clear
That's
this.
on you.
Let me just clear this up. That whole statement, if home is taken care of, you can kind of go do whatever you please. No, that is a BS statement. I will never stand for that statement.
If home is taken care of, you can do whatever you want as long as it ain't that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm
like, because if you got to go full around, then that clearly says home ain't taken care of.
I mean, it's just like how we say that women cheat. Like, they say who cheats more, men or women? And it's like, I think men probably cheat more, but I think that it's worse when women do it.
Explain.
Well, because men, they'll just go out here and just, be on some shit and just be like, yeah, I'm just going to go out here and get my dick wet real quick. And then they just smash and dash and that's that. Like, women don't do that.
Women,
like,
it turns into a whole nother relationship.
If they're gonna fucking open their legs and let a nigga smash, and they got a dude or they're married, then that means she already plotting for him to be the replacement. Like, she has to be emotionally attached to you in order for you to smash. Men don't have to have emotional attachment to go smash and dash. Like, they don't do that. So it's like, when a woman is cheating, it's worse. It's way worse, because if she's cheating, then you're done. Like, she's already mentally somewhere else.
I mean, I do feel you on that point, just because, like, the saying goes best. Men do things, in a sense, logically. We don't think emotionally.
Not at all.
Not most of us.
Yeah, most of us don't. Now, it's like when you've gotten to a certain level, you can kind of understand both sides, but you still don't inherently think emotional.
Yeah. Now, I will say this, just with, my ideology about the whole thing is more so, I just have never seen a point to basically get married if you still want to fool around.
No, I don't get it. I'm just kind of like,
but also too, like, the whole thing, like I said, I find it so interesting that people really will come to me for relationship advice,
because there's no judgment,
bro.
But
also too, like, because I was talking about it with
you can't tell nobody shit. Like, you ain't going through it. So,
well, no, but I was talking about it with some of my OGs back in Colorado, and I was asking them, like, why does this always happen to me? Because it happens so much, and I'm like really just sitting here pondering on it. And they said, I think it's because growing up, you've seen so much in relationships that it's like you kind of just have notated everything to where it's like you can at least say, well, seeing this happen and then this is the outcome. I mean, you're able to explain it a little bit
right
better.
You can actually, like, indulge in the conversation.
But also, too, I think it's because, not going through the experiences myself and more so being on the outside looking in, that's kind of what helps, me be able to talk with people. Because like you said, I can't judge. I've never been in the situation. I mean, quite frankly, I'm not going to judge regardless because, A, I don't know the full story.
Right.
But even then, it's not my right to judge.
Facts.
But also too, I think more so, it's just I try to go about it in terms of what would I do or what would I want to hear if I was in that scenario.
Yeah, that's what I do. That's when I get
Yeah.
when someone comes to me asking about, what should I do?
Because like I told you,
this is what I would do.
Because like I told you, this some people think I'm very judgmental. My whole thing is more so you can't call me judgmental just because I told you the truth and you didn't like it. Because for one, most people need to get the definition of judgment correctly. Judgment is when I'm constantly pestering you about the same thing. That's what judgment is. If I just gave you my honest opinion once and then let it lie after that, that's not judgment. That's just me telling you how it is. But also, if you ask for my opinion, you can't be mad about the outcome. That's craziness.
Well, I mean, again, a lot of people don't like to hear the truth.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Because they don't, especially if it's not in their favor.
I agree. Yeah,
so
but
it's like some people, you just can't be honest with them because it's like you don't know how they're going to react.
Yeah, I agree.
It's just
that's why I don't really be trying to give my opinion too much nowadays.
No, I mean,
there's too many bands in the world.
I just keep that shit to myself. I'm like, y'all niggas.
I'll just notate everything and keep it pushing. But
y'all niggas is not ready for it.
Oh yeah. Now, but honestly though, I will say this. I don't know if it's in a sense God using me to help others out in their trials and tribulations. Like, hey, look, if I'm destined to be single for life, but this is my job, hey, I guess, but dang, this is rough.
Look, I don't know about that. I mean, I get asked my opinion on a lot of things, and I mean, it's more so because I've been in the situation and seen it on the outside. It's like everybody likes to talk about, this like what it's supposed to look like and how it should be.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, dude, my parents have been married for almost 39 years. So I'm just kind of like, I've seen what it's supposed to be like, and I've seen what works. And me having gone through a divorce, I can tell you firsthand what don't fucking work. So it's just kind of like,
well, let me ask you this: is it okay if I ask
about what?
Your divorce?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just check it. Looking back, is there anything you feel you could have did better, or do you think you did all you could?
I mean, I think at that point, there's things that both of us could have done better.
Well, I'm only asking you because obviously she ain't here.
Right. I'd say that, like, when we were actually going through, like, when we were getting to the point of, like, okay, what the fuck are we doing here? I mean, I could have probably been, I mean, I definitely did try to work things out with her. But she pushed me to a point that I couldn't.
Yeah, it was just too late.
It was just like, I'm not like I told her that if she ever pushed me to that point where I was just like, I'm out, then that was it. There wasn't gonna be no do-overs,
and it got there.
And it got there. And I had the exit stage left, so I'm just like it. I mean, it's it's one of those things. It's like it, and I will say that you probably know about this nigga.
Okay.
All over the internet. Mr. Chris Perry. That light-skinned dude that's always talking shit about men and like trying to speak on women. I remember when this nigga was on TikTok and he wasn't even like popping like that. And then all of a sudden now he's like super famous.
I can't say I know who he is.
And I'm like, bruh. Now, some of the shit that he be saying, like, he be dropping some gems. But some stuff, bro, I'm just like, dude, like, you just be shitting on men like we.
Oh, so he's a pick-me.
I'm like, bro, he's engaged and he's in a happy relationship. So it's like, just because you got it don't mean all of us got it.
So he's a pick-me towards women.
That's what it come across like.
Okay.
Because he'll sit there and talk about why women are the way they are and how, we ain't shit and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, bruh, like, why don't you ever say any of this uplifting shit about your own? Yeah. You ain't fucking, like, helping us out with none of this shit. It's like, you're just talking shit about us and making it like we're the ones who are the bad people.
Well, here's the thing. It's
like
take, you remember Kevin Samuels, right?
No, it's basically the opposite of that.
So it's like, I always thought it was funny how women like to hate on Kevin Samuels because I'm like, no, he was actually pretty fair when you really sat down and listened to it.
The thing with Kevin Samuels is
he just told it like it was.
Yeah, Kevin Samuels would talk shit to men, women, children, dogs, cats, chickens, ducks.
Yeah, but I'm like, I always said though, I'm like,
shit to anybody.
Yeah, but I always said though, like, when he passed and like women were so happy, I'm like, bro, to be fair, he kind of was on your side too, because he checked a few dudes.
Oh, he checked everybody.
Yeah,
but see, the thing, I think what's so like, what people are getting, because you hear about these women talking about toxic masculinity and all of this bullshit. I think
can't even explain it.
I know what it is.
No, I know we know, but most of them can't.
It's like, but the reason why there is this toxic masculinity, as they like to say, is, and it's all because of them. They're the reason that them niggas are like that.
I'm gonna need you to further that point a little bit
because.
For the listeners.
For the audience, break it down for y'all. They talk about toxic masculinity and how it's, this whole alpha macho bullshit is toxic. Why the hell do you think that those niggas act like that? Because some of y'all want that. They've gotten so caught up in wanting to be a high value man that they've lost sight of everything else. And in this red pill bullshit that goes on now, this high value man shit, it's like, oh, you gotta make all this money and you gotta have all of the bitches and you gotta have a girlfriend that lets you fuck around with the side bitches and is okay with it. Relationship closed on her end, open on yours. And I'm just like, bro, like,
make it make sense.
Yeah, right. Who fuck, like, really? And the sad part is that women actually want a nigga like that.
Yeah, it is crazy.
And then when they get one, they don't want it.
Yeah. And then that nice dude that was trying to talk to them the entire time.
Right. You stepped
calling
on
him a lame.
Yeah, he was a lame.
And then once he moves on, they come right back.
Just like you wanted this fucking toxic shit because it's like, oh, you want a nigga that's gonna spend all his money on you and, he's gonna take care of you and you ain't gotta do nothing but sit at the house and be cute while he at work, right? That's what y'all want. But then when y'all get that, what y'all don't understand is that you being able to sit at the house and be cute, that shit comes with consequences. Because if he gonna fucking sit here and dump all of his money and resources and time into you, for you to just not do nothing, what do you think that is good? He's gonna be doing on the back end? He gonna be out here in the streets getting his fix from other bitches because you ain't doing nothing. You just taking his money and going to buy fucking Louis Vuitton purses and shit. That ain't doing nothing for him. But that's the lifestyle that y'all want, right? Like y'all want this nigga to make all of this money, but it's like y'all don't understand that shit comes with a caveat.
Hey, look, to the listeners, hey, y'all can DM either one of us. Tell us your side, make a point. Just remember, if you didn't like what we were saying, turn it off. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, but that's the real shit. It's just like it works for us that way too now.
Exactly.
Like women look for financial security in men. Most men look for
comfort,
beauty. They want a bad bitch.
Yep.
They want a bad bitch. Women want a rich dude.
Yep.
So what happens?
Yep.
What is the caveat for us?
Exactly.
The badder the bitch, the bigger the headache.
Also, too.
It's just that's usually how it is.
On our end, though, as men, I do find it funny how some of these niggas get all butthurt when a woman makes more than them.
And I don't understand
exactly. Like, I've always thought it was funny.
They feel emasculated. Yeah. Hey. And I'm just like, bro, as long as if the woman makes more money than you, but she ain't like putting her finger in your chest telling her that you a worthless piece of shit, then why do you feel bad about it?
Hey, look, all I'm going to say is, hey, if my wife was making more money than me, and she was like, you want to just be a stay-at-home dad? Yes, absolutely. Like, bet, or better yet, hey, show me how you making all that money. I'm trying to get on the same level.
Right.
Hey.
I'm like, what are we doing here?
Exactly.
Like, hey, but like women, like, I don't sleep on women.
I'll never do
ever. It's like they can have great careers just like we can.
I mean, hey, man. I grew up with a single mother that's now retired, so.
I mean, it's like I grew up with both my parents, but I mean, both of my parents had their own careers.
Exactly.
So I'm just like, my mom made money just like my dad did. It was just like, so I've always seen that.
Oh, yeah.
I grew up in a household with a college educated mom with a career, that was like the standard,
So, hey.
So it's like
I said, we're pretty 50-50. So why you can really get mad at us?
Right. I'm like, I'm just saying it's like, that's what it is. It's like, just like women want a man with all of this money. It comes with a caveat. Just like dudes want these Instagram model looking women. That shit comes with a caveat. Yep. It's just like, you can't just have elite milk and not have a caveat. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't have that.
Oh, man.
It's just like, because 9 times out of 10, she may be elite, but she's probably a total bitch. And you got to deal with it if that's what you want. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to deal with it.
And
like,
on their end,
you got to.
Hey, look.
Well, you ain't got to, but it's if you think that way,
even on the women's end, they get a nigga that, basically putting on a facade. In reality, he just a band like a lot of other niggas. So.
Oh, 100%.
Yep. So, hey.
So,
is what it is.
They get that caveat though. They get you a rich dude and he turned out to be an asshole. It's just like, that's just, hey, are you willing to put up with that to get what you want? Just like men. Are you willing to put up with her, and her bullshit to get what you want? It works both ways.
Exactly. Hey, my guy, it's good to be back though.
For sure.
Appreciate you as usual. Apologies for, the hiatus, We gonna get back on it though.
Yeah, we need to.
Yes, sir. Hey, Eddie, DeVante, it's been real.
Peace.